You are now listening to the Girl Organize That Life podcast. Coach L3.
Hi, welcome to the Girl Organize That Life podcast, where I am your host, Leslie Latimore-Lorfils, affectionately known as Coach L3. As a mother of 12, who has also served as a senior military officer for nearly 3 decades alongside my husband, I can certainly understand and appreciate who I call the 3C sisters: crazy, chaos, and confusion. If you are an executive level mom, mompreneur, or lady leader who perhaps still struggles with burnout, you have come to the right place where you can receive strategies and tips on how to pivot with poise and conquer the noise. I invite you to take this journey with us to increase your clarity, your confidence, and to conquer the overwhelm. Hope to see you there.
Coach L3.
Hey, girls. Hey, welcome back to the Girl Organize That Life podcast, where we empower executive level moms, mompreneurs, and lady leaders to pivot with poise despite the noise. And I am Coach L3, Leslie Latimore-Lorfils, your host. And I'm so excited that we are here for season 3. Oh my gosh, where did the time go? It seemed like just yesterday we were just starting off. And I'm so appreciative of all of those who drop in and listen to us. And we pray that each episode has edified your life in some way. I'm super excited about the start of season 3 because we have such a fantastic guest, that of Dr. Annmarie Waite. I am just so elated to have her here. But a few things before we get into the nitty-gritty of what we're talking about. I want you to know that she is a health and wellness coach, which definitely rings near and dear to me because here at Girl Organize That Life, we are very big on self-care. And I look forward to some magic that we hope to make together maybe down the road at some point. She's also a Floridian. So for her, I'm sure she appreciates the fact of all the snow that maybe hit her in Florida. I don't know. I think she's a little further south. But yeah, Florida was getting some interesting weather. Wow. So I'm sure she's excited about the cold. And another fun fact I do want to share, she likes to sing and do karaoke. Should we put her on the spot? No, I'm not gonna do that. But I'm so excited to have you here, Dr. Waite. And I do want to give you an opportunity to also, share some things about yourself. And then we're going to get right into it and see how we can edify our listeners. So welcome to the show. Thank you for coming. And what else should this audience know about you?
Hi, Leslie. I am so thrilled to be here with you tonight. Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to see your smiling face. And I guess to start out, what I'd like to share with the audience is that, like you said, I am a certified transformation health coach, and I have a passion to help women build their legacy, their health legacy. You know, a lot of times we talk about building a financial legacy. Well, my passion is to build a health legacy. And the way I do this is to help them to take charge of their own lives, take charge of their nutrition, because we are what we eat. And so I work with executive women who are in leadership. I work with women in the second half of their lives, and also those who are ready to get serious, really serious about their health. And I help them to achieve clarity on their individual health needs. And some of the fabulous results that come from working with me is that they end up having increased energy. They're able to manage their weight. And most importantly, I think, is that they end up with improved gut, GUT, gut health.
I love that.
And all of this leads to them just living a more vibrant life. And wouldn't we all like to live a vibrant life?
Yes, yes. So if you all are listening carefully, she speaks essentially about taking care of our insides so that our outsides would then reflect just that and just that vibrant life that she's speaking about. I love that. And definitely just a way of exercising some serious self-care when it comes to your health, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. So another thing I want you all to know, she's so modest, but Dr. Wade, not only is she a certified transformational health coach, she's also a Lisa Nichols certified transformational trainer. So I'm just going to put that out there. That is something huge, something big to know. We shared the same space coming through the training together, and it was such a pleasure to get to work with you and to know you on a deeper level. So what I want to hear about one of the fabulous opportunities that you had in writing, co-authoring with the Lisa Nichols, right? And the name of your book is called Against All Odds.
Against all odds.
Talk
Yes.
to talk to us about that. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I love, love, love. And listen, I have to get my copy. And I'll be getting it tonight. I will be ordering my copy tonight.
Amazing.
And we'll have to get together. Annmarie will have to get together so that you can sign my copy. But I'd like for you to talk to us in terms of talking to our executive women. We're such high achievers, right?
Yes.
And I think the undercurrent is that we feel like we have to be on 10.
Mm-hmm.
And we are tied to societal beliefs, expectations of our family, our friends, all these things.
Mm-hmm.
So talk to me about Against All Odds and share a little bit of insight with us as to what did that do for you writing it? How was your experience? And maybe share a little bit of the story. Don't want to tell everything because their name is book.
Yeah. So, you know, that was, I would call it a mind-blowing experience. It's just, first of all, it was not one of my thing that a goal. I didn't want to write a book. But just by hanging around Lisa and the group of the community that we were surrounded and supported and loved, it made me become aware of how powerful our stories are. And that if we are ashamed of our stories, of it, essentially, we are ashamed of ourselves.
Mm.
And so it's kind of like a mindset that you have to change because, and that's where I was. I never told my story because I didn't realize that I was ashamed of it. I just felt, and I think that shame comes from the fact that we think that we're victims.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think after going through that journey, because I was on a personal development journey, and I realized that I needed to switch, I needed to change that mindset. And that's where I started growing and recognizing that my story had the power to change other people's lives. Because even though I am a nurse practitioner, and that's one thing I never said about myself too. But I recognize that I have changed a lot of lives, but not in the way that I am doing it now, in that I wasn't being vulnerable with my patients. And I think as a health coach, that's where I have stepped across that line and recognizing that when you share about yourself, it allows others to connect with you at a deeper level. And so that was the wake up call for me. And it was just it's a very powerful feeling, just to know that you are making a difference in somebody's lives. But it also helps you to develop that self-love,
Mm.
because you have to have self-love to be able to love others as much. It goes two ways. The self-love comes first, because if you don't love yourself, you're not going to love anybody else. And so once I was able to make that switch, and that's what writing the book did for me. It made me appreciate who I am because I never did. I never gave myself credit for all the things that I've done and all the stories that I have in my life. I never gave myself credit. It was just something that you do. And
Mhm.
so writing the story, my story was just it was an amazing experience, but it was almost like the journey I was taking, I was transforming myself.
Mhm.
And because I was able to do that transformational journey for myself, I'm now able to work with people and help them. Because, Lisa says you can only take somebody as far as you're willing to go.
Mm.
And so I realized that that's what I needed to do. I needed to do that transformation on myself so that I can help others to take, because that's my purpose. My purpose is to serve others and to help them to, get to that their highest self.
Wow. I love that. So many gems and nuggets that you dropped. And those that are listening, particularly us executive level women, your story should be told. And that we heard Dr. Waite say she wanted to give herself credit for all of the great and wonderful things that she has accomplished. She said that you have to love self before you love others. Oh my gosh, so good. So good. So, talking to our particular niche, because we're talking to women that they're everything to everybody, right? And as a result, typically of that, they forget about
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
So, in telling your story, what would you say to them? What would you say to that woman that knows that she's sitting on something powerful, but she still has like a wall? Because you mentioned being ashamed at some point, but she
Mhm.
still has a wall. Can you talk to us about when you wrote your story and you finally got it out there? Did any walls come down? Was there like some type of release?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. When I always knew that I had so much potential, that there was so much more that, was in store for me. But when you have, when you're brought up in a certain way, and you develop a lot of mindsets that, for instance, when you don't think that you're worthy to shine your light, then you're going to, you can succeed. You're succeeding in a lot of things that you're doing, but you're not stopping to appreciate where you are and who you are and what you've done to to have the life that you have. And those are the barriers that we run into, because if you what you don't appreciate, it never grows.
Mm-hmm.
So even though you're managing to move ahead in all the directions that, because obviously we all have a plan, we all have goals. I did. I had 5-year, 10-year goals, and I was always able to go and reach these goals, but I wasn't sitting back and appreciating myself and rewarding and giving myself credit for it. I just felt that it was part of it was just part of life. And I didn't have to. But I think it's part of self-care and self-love. That's what it's all about. If you can just take time, and we're not a lot, it's too, people think that self-care is selfish. If you're thinking about yourself, then you're being selfish.
And
And
it's like
that is
selfless.
so, yes, and yes. And that is so not true, because ultimately, if you're not taking care of yourself, you really aren't doing such a good job taking care of others either, because you have to, if you're not there, how can you take care of others? So really, essentially, if you have to pour into you, so that when you give, you're not given from a half full container. You're filled with all the love, all the everything that you want to give to somebody else. You should pour it into you first.
That's so good. And that reminds me of when we were at When My Soul Speaks back in last April with Lisa, and I had a chance to interview her for like 30 seconds. And I said, Lisa, how do you give us all of this goodness and you still keep your divaness about you? And
Yeah.
she said to me, she paused. You know how Lisa does.
Yeah.
Well, I make sure I fill up my cup first. And I
Yes.
give it to you from my overflow.
Yes.
Let me tell you, that statement has stuck with me ever since. That whole my cup is half full. No, no, no. I need the cup to be running over, and
Over.
I
Yeah.
give it to you all from where it runs over so that
Yes.
my cup remains full. Wow, that is so good. So tell me, now that you've told your story, you've broken down some barriers, you've had like a release, and you realize how transformational it is and how other people need what you have. Talk to me about what Against All Odds meant for you.
Against all odds, well, first of all, the authors in the book are just some phenomenal women, amazing women. They're the stories of resilience it's just amazing. The things, you sometimes you think, oh my gosh, I had such a hard life, and you read somebody else's story and you're like, oh my,
Hmm.
I had it good, you know, but for them to be able to open up and share their stories, and I think every one of these authors are in a place of service, and they all share their stories with the hope to inspire somebody else to do the same. Or because a lot of times, when before I shared my story, I didn't realize that some of the very women that I was treating had similar stories to me. They came from similar situations, but because I just made it, there was a barrier. I am the professional, I am the care, I am the person who is helping you to get better. So I don't have to tell you my story, but I do want to hear your story. And that's the barrier that we put up. And I think what Against All Odds have taught me is that in order to reach somebody, you have to, and to connect to them, not just reach them, but to connect to them, you
Mhm.
have to share yourself. You have to give them something of yourself, because you never know when something that you share is going to resonate with that other person that you're talking to. And so it opened up the potential of just what it means to be able to talk to women on a level that you can connect more deeply with them, so that they can then want to have that experience of helping other people, because that's how love is. It's not a one-way thing. When you start pouring into others, people often want to play it forward. They want to go ahead and do it for somebody else.
That is so, so true. Um, I love how you said, not only do you want to reach them, you want to connect with them, because
Yes.
that's where the magic happens. It happens in the
Yeah.
connection. And I love how you said that, as a practitioner, you have this barrier
Yeah.
with your clients or what have you, because, I'm the professional. I have to. Quick story. I have a way where I can contact my therapist. And for those that are listening or watching, yes, that's part of my self-care. It's part of my diva treatment. Let's be clear.
Yes.
So I was thinking about her and I said, hey, just wanted to check on you. I know you lost your mom not too long ago and you always take care of us, but I want you to know that I'm thinking about you. How are you doing? And when I tell you that like blew her mind, because as a practitioner, maybe your patients don't say, well, how are you doing?
Right.
And,
Right.
and not that you're gonna expect them to do that, but I tell you what, it really opened up my eyes further and just reminded me we are all human
Yes.
and we all need that space. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. That is so
Yeah.
good. That
Thank
is so good. I have another question for you. So
you.
you talked about it a little bit, but you such an opportunity to work with the Lisa Nichols and to write with her.
Yes.
Tell us more about that experience.
Um, you know, I think that having the opportunity to work with Lisa, it it was like it wasn't, you know how when you meet somebody famous, how you feel like, oh my gosh, it's Lisa Nichols, or
Starstruck. Mm-hmm.
yeah, you're starstruck. You don't get that way with Lisa. And I
Mm-hmm.
have to tell you that that is how I got connected to Lisa. She was a guest on another group that I was in. So they brought her in as a guest speaker. And her story just touched me at such a deep level that I vowed right then and there that I want to follow her. I want to know what she's doing, and I want to do more of what she is doing. And so I started to look, and of course, Lisa offered a free course when she was finished. And of course, I was one of the first ones to sign up because I was hooked. I had to get me some more of Lisa. And so I started attending her workshops, and I've been to her um, retreat. That is a fabulous, oh my gosh, it was amazing. If you want to be able to break through a lot of things that you think you didn't even realize that you were holding on to them, and you get there and you're like, okay, yeah, yeah, I have some work to do. I really really do. But you're able to work through those things in a safe, loving, non-judgmental place. And I think that's why people struggle with coming up and coming out of the old things that they hold on to, because it's not safe. It's
Right.
very, unloving, and it's very judgmental. And I
Mm,
think that's what Lisa brings to the table for everybody that she meets. You immediately feel that this is somebody that I can trust. This is somebody I could just sit down and tell my life story to, and I don't have to feel bad about it.
mm,
But on top of that, she also inspires you to be the best that you can be, so
mm,
that you leave there saying to yourself, okay, this is not where I want my story to end, or my story has more to it. And so, and your story is your life.
right.
Yeah, and Lisa has this thing that she talks about your in between and you may remember she talks about the pause, the year she gives you where you were born, and then the day that you die. What is your
A lot of us
story?
call it the dash, but
The dash, yes, the dash between the year you were born and the year you die. And that is a powerful exercise to do. And I think we did that in the retreat, and it made such an impact on me, because you realize that that dash is very important.
it is.
It's very important. And so I only have abundant gratitude and I feel that my life has just changed so much, having worked with Lisa. And I mean, I've read all her books. I know all her stories, and I never stop. You just don't stop admiring the person that she is, and wanting to be like her. You just, because she comes from a place of just unconditional love
Yeah.
all the time. And sometimes you meet somebody and you think that that's not that can't be real. That person is not, yeah, I can't bond with them. That's not Lisa.
Right.
That's not Lisa. You know that she's a very genuine person, whatever she's saying to you. I mean, and I know you know Lisa too, so you can understand where I'm coming from. And so having the experience of sharing, being on a cover with Lisa is priceless. It's just priceless.
And that leads me to the next piece that I want to speak to us women. And Annmarie and I, we are just like you. We're regular, day-to-day, hardworking people. And some people may think, oh my God, Lisa Nichols, that's out of my reach. And I want you to know that it's not. And if you ever get the opportunity to be in her presence and to work with her the way we have worked with her, I encourage you to take it. And if it's not Lisa, if it's someone else,
Yes.
whatever that is, whatever your dream is, you can get after it. Dr. Waite has clearly shared with us over this time together that you can beat the odds.
You can.
Against all odds, right? Whatever
Absolutely.
your story is, whatever your obstacles may have been, whatever experiences that you have had, good, not good, in between, they all make up who you are now holistically today.
Yes.
It's like no experience left behind, right?
Right.
Everything counts. Everything counts. Wow, this has just been so good and so rich. And I'm just so grateful that you took the time to kind of share with us a little bit about you, letting us in a little bit of the story. Because again, everyone, you got to get the
I don't
book.
want to give it
And
away. That's why I didn't talk about
right.
it.
And with that
Yeah.
said, it's juicy reading. I'm sure I can't wait to dig in, but I know many of the authors and I know pieces and snippets of this story, and I can't wait to dive in to get the rest of it. So, Dr. Waite, tell us if someone wants to work deeper with you, if they want the book, how can they find you? How can they connect?
So I have a website. It's called girlfriendshealth.com. And I'm also on Facebook. You can look me up at Dr. Annmarie Waite. And I'm on Instagram at girlfriends_health. And that's my Instagram. And I'm also getting ready to launch a YouTube channel, which is going to be Girlfriends Health as well. I'm everything girlfriends. So that's how you'd be able to find me. And also, if you would like to get a copy of the book, it is sold on my website. So if you go to girlfriendshealth.com, you'll be able to purchase the book. And I'm chapter 22.
I love it. I can't wait. I'm so soon as I can, I will be getting my copy. I can't wait. I'm excited. And I look forward to getting my autograph too. Can't
Yes,
wait for
yes,
that.
absolutely. Yeah.
So to you boss ladies, the boss community, boss standing for bad audacious women serving with excellence. That's who we are here at Girl Organize That Life. I'm so glad that you were able to tune in. Please click like, click share. If we've said something that has resonated with you, leave us a review. Tell us how we're doing. If there are other subjects that you feel that you want us to dive in deep to talk about, tell us that too. We're here to serve you. We're here to serve you. A couple of house announcements. Girl Organize That Life. We are on tour. The Pivot with Poise tour has started. We had our first stop in San Antonio, Texas in December, and we will be headed to Fayetteville, North Carolina in March. Please go to pivotwithpoise.com, get your tickets, bring your friends, bring your girlfriends. It is going to be juicy, juicy, juicy. You don't want to miss. Secondly, the site is always up, girlorganizethatlife.com. So feel free to go there as well to see any of the happenings that we may have going on, any masterclasses that we have coming up, anything that we're doing to serve the community. And I just want to say, I want to remind you all, as you're going about your busy days, don't forget to pivot with poise despite the noise. Until next time, we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Coach L3.